Hey everybody, I'm David with Bolivar Live, and as you can see from the background, or maybe you can't tell, I'm sitting down here at the Bolivar Lighthouse on the deck, and I can tell you the view from here. A cruise ship just came in. It's beautiful, and this morning we're going to talk to Amy about the lighthouse, what they formed, a foundation, and give you all the information so you know what's happening down here and how we're going to keep this icon of beauty. You know, in a lot of my live feeds, I always say the Bolivar Lighthouse is a welcome mat for those visiting Bolivar and a farewell mat for those leaving. And without the lighthouse, it's sort of like losing the beach. It's just an icon of beauty that we want to keep down here. But first, this Bolivar Live is brought to you by the Big Store. When you're on Bolivar and you need anything, stop by the Big Store and you'll be greeted by a staff of smiling faces and a staff that's eager to help you find what you're looking for. If the Big Store doesn't have it, chances are you really don't need it. Amy, thanks for getting up early this morning and joining us out here. Man, when that cruise ship came by, it's just unbelievable, the view.
Beautiful. Absolutely glorious. It's so nice to see them back.
Let's talk about your family. They purchased this, a brother, sister, and now we're going to rebuild it.
Absolutely.
So let's go through the timeline of when they purchased it, decommissioned, and everything.
Absolutely. So the Bolivar Point Lighthouse was erected in 1872, and it was decommissioned in 1933, and this sat as government surplus property. In 1947, my grandmother, Isla Boyd Maxwell, and her brother Everett Boyd came down and purchased it in the auction from the government, and it has been in our family ever since. So she'll be 150 years old next year,
Man.
which is super exciting. And like David said, we're embarking on a journey to preserve and restore the Bolivar Point Lighthouse, which we're super excited to be doing.
Now, about 4 or 5 years ago, y'all started a foundation, and there was a lot of questions arose, and that's the reason why I've gotten with Amy, and I'm working with her on other things to get the word out on what's really happening down here. The top of the lighthouse, as you can see from some of the photos and video, is in bad shape, and we need to rebuild it. It needs to get replaced, and that's what the foundation was formed. So, Amy, tell us a little bit about the foundation, how it's set up, who's on the board, and what your plans are.
Absolutely. So great question, David. So the foundation was formed back in 2015. It's called the Bolivar Point Lighthouse Foundation. It is a 501c3 nonprofit, and our goal and our mission is that we will restore and preserve the Bolivar Point Lighthouse, and the end goal will be that there will be controlled public access that we will allow for the very first time, and we're excited to be able to do that and give back to the region. I know there's a lot of excitement about there, but there will be some controlled public access for the first time ever when we have this safely completed and restored.
We get a lot of emails and calls about how can I tour the lighthouse, and so, you know, it's sort of like Fort Travis. One of the things I'm doing with them is getting funding so that we can have the bunkers open, and I'm sure I'm going to do that, help with this too. Because this is Texas history.
It is. And
people don't realize, you know, like Jane Long, the mother of Texas,
Absolutely.
What happened on Bolivar. So how's the nonprofit set up? Who's on the board, and what are the steps they're taking?
Absolutely. So I will say we've hired a historical architect, Larry Ursick, and we have a great team there. And I think many of the viewers have seen that we conducted a 3D Matterport scan a couple of weeks ago. So I hope everyone's had the opportunity to get on the website, on Facebook, and take the virtual tour to the top. It really is majestic to be able to go up and see the views from the very, very top of the lighthouse. So that was one of our first steps. We'll be having upcoming board meetings and, you know, just looking what is the end goal, what does this look like? And then at the very end, we'll have a master plan. We'll have structural engineers that will come out. They will do a soup to nuts, come in here top to bottom, inside and out. This engineering team will come in, and then we'll know, you know, exactly what we're looking at, David, and then we'll have a master plan that'll be built off that, and we'll know what we're looking at from a cost estimate and what it's going to take to restore the lighthouse.
What kind of timeline are we talking? Are we talking 6 months, 2 years, 5 years to get all this, to more or less get the master plan going?
I say that within months, I mean, we will have a master plan.
Okay.
And that's, that is our commitment. You see the condition she's in, and we want to get rolling with this. And, I've taken this project on full time as the executive director. So there's a full-time commitment to this project now. So we're really excited that we can take on and embark with this.
And I want to give some background on Amy. She lives in Austin. Is down here about every week or every 2 weeks taking care of something. But she left a career, 22 years with Pfizer, to help with this, to spend some time with your girls. But, to embark on something 5 hours away and help rebuild, despite the family does own the property and stuff, but the commitment she's made to keep some history on Bolivar is just unbelievable. And I want to thank you from a tourism standpoint, from the tourism center, on taking this on, because the foundation's been around, and whenever it's not a full-time deal, it's hard to get commitment. And I know she's gone out and she's talking to different people, the Galveston Historical Foundation, Galveston Chamber, and everyone's really on board, because this also affects Galveston.
Absolutely.
It's Galveston County, not just the city, the county, and Bolivar. And so, as far as the board, have you put the whole board together yet?
It's a great question. So yes, so we've got the infancy stages of the board. I think several of the members we have.
Right.
We have Sid Bowes, we have former Congressman Nick Lampson, we have Jody DeSantis, and we only have 2 family members. So we've got Michael Maxwell on the Maxwell side, and we have Mark Boyd representing the Boyd side of the family.
Great.
So we'll continue to be building with external members, but that's kind of where we are as we're in the infancy stages of building that right now.
As far as fundraising, I know we've got you a booth down at the Christmas market this year. What are some of your ideas for fundraising to help raise money for this?
We are going to, as soon as we've got this master plan and we have everything sorted out from critical down to severe to what we know, we're going to have opportunities for naming. We'll know, we can go for grant money, but definitely capital fundraising. I'll know exactly what we need. So that's kind of all on the horizon, David, of what we're kind of looking at is some fundraisers that we want to do here, locally over in Galveston. So that's kind of all on the horizon as we're kind of planning all that out right now, which we're super excited to do. But we'll get that as soon as we've got that master plan. I'll know exactly what we need. Absolutely.
And we won't tell them what my idea was for fundraising, will we? Anyway,
it's a great one.
We're going to be doing a bunch of these live feeds, and I told Amy the best way to keep rumors from flying or set the record straight is to come to you live and let you know exactly what's happening. It doesn't matter if they had an architect out, or if they've started working on the master plan, or they've had the Matterport. We want to keep you informed through Bolivar Live on what's happening down here, so you know exactly where your donation's going and what it's being used for, to keep it open so that everyone knows there's no rumors. We heard a rumor yesterday you were selling the steps from the lighthouse, or someone said there weren't any steps. I can tell you that they talk. We think there's 135 steps up, and the reason we're not shooting this from the top of the lighthouse is I didn't want to take up the EMS time to come get me when I climbed to the top. So, Amy, thanks for joining us this morning. And what's the website where they can sort of follow on what's going on?
Absolutely.
I know Amy and them have done some work on it to update it, and they're going to keep updating it as things progress. We're going to keep you informed through Bolivar Live, whether it's photos, Bolivar Live shows, or whatever it takes, so that you know exactly what's going on to our piece of history here on the Point of Bolivar. So, Amy, thanks for joining us this morning. And we'll be back soon, hopefully, with another Bolivar Live from here at the Bolivar Lighthouse. Until next time, I'm David with Bolivar Live. Y'all have a great day, great week. Come see us. God bless. And stay tuned for the rebuild of the Bolivar Lighthouse. Bye-bye.